In today's video, you're going to be learning our 3 most important stretches / mobility exercises for movement. Now, here's what's important to know about these 3 stretches / mobility exercises. 1, they're good for all ages and fitness levels. So no matter where you're at right now, you can start to use these to improve your mobility training. 2, they're taken from a more advanced form of movement. So they're taken from parkour. 3, these are so important because there's a lot of different stretches that you can start using. But if you just focus on these 3, these are going to be the most beneficial for a lot of functional movements. So because parkour is all about developing the body for functional movements to be used for obstacle courses and to overcome obstacles. And really, you don't have to be flexible in a lot of different areas. My brother and I were horrible with our splits and other flexibility, but we had these 3 down. And that's why when we got invited to go into the show American Ninja Warrior to test the obstacles and stuff, we did really well, even though we had no background in martial arts, no background in gymnastics, and our flexibility really wasn't that good, but we had it in these areas. I mean, we did so well that we were brought on the next year to go full-time. They hired us full-time to work behind the scenes, test the obstacles, demo the obstacles, do course run-throughs and everything like that. And if you look into the top competitors on Ninja Warrior, a lot of them have a background in parkour or definitely use that in their training. Now, if you want to learn more about parkour, at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you a 5-day training course that you can get absolutely free. We'll send it to your email. All right, now let's jump into these 3 exercises. Now, remember, these 3 exercises, if you just focus on these, it's going to help out a ton. So you don't really have to focus on other stretches like getting your splits and things like that. You can, and it's good to get a full range of motion with your full body. But just for parkour, if you want to start out small, you want to start simple, these 3 are going to be the biggest ones that are going to be the biggest help from what we've seen and through our own personal experience. So the first one is with the shoulder angle. With the shoulder angle, we want to have a good range of motion here so we can fully extend. Not only is this good for handstands, but it's also good for vaults, when we're doing Kong vaults, when we're diving, when we're having to get inverted or doing anything with our hands, when we're reaching up to grab a wall, things like this. Having this extra range of motion here is going to be very important. So the exercise is simply taking your arms, making sure to keep a straight back, have your head facing forward, and what you're going to do is just lift your arms as high as you can. And then once you reach this point, you're going to extend the shoulders up, really push out with the shoulders. So you're going to push out, stretch as far as you can, and then come back down. So for all of these exercises, you want to do about 3 sets of 10. That's a good range to hit. And with the shoulder one, you just want to go as far as you can. If you can only hit here, that's good. As you extend up, you can probably reach further, but you want to go as far back. You want to be almost to where you're touching your ears, basically. That's where you kind of want to aim for. Now, the second exercise, we're going to move down the body, and we're going to move to the hip hinge. So the ability to hit this range of motion here, because whenever we're doing like dash vaults, whenever we're doing any type of vault where the legs are coming in front, so when we're doing lazy vaults, this flexibility is key. If we don't have this flexibility, you're going to struggle a lot with those movements. You may not even be able to do them at all. So it's really important that we have this hip hinge mobility and flexibility. And so one of the best ways to do this is to work on the hip hinge. Now, if you're a beginner, the basic hip hinge, where you're bending forward at the hips like so, might be kind of tough. So you might want to start on the ground like so and reach for your toes like so. But the big thing is with the hip hinge, whether you're standing, whether you're sitting like this, you want to keep your back straight. So you want to have a neutral spine. You don't want to arch too much like this, but you don't want to curve over like this, because you really want to focus the flexibility here. So keep your head straight, your back straight, and you're just going to reach forward. It doesn't matter if you can't reach that far right now. The important thing is you're keeping good form, because if you're curving your back and you can touch your toes, that doesn't really matter because you're not focusing on the right point. So again, you will do 3 sets of 10 of those, the hip hinge. If you can do it standing, do that. Go down as far as you can, come back up. So that's going to help a lot for those vaults. Now the third one, the third and final exercise, is hitting a full squat. So being able to go into a squat position and hit a full range of motion here so you can get deep in that squat. What this is going to do is for any jumps, any landings, being able to go into that full squat gives you a greater range of motion. So that means you can absorb more. If you're taking a heavy impact, being able to go into that full squat is very important. It's crucial for that movement. So being able to hit that full range of motion is going to be very important, especially as you go into other vaults like Kong vaults and things like this, where you need to be able to pull your legs up in this flexibility here and go through like so. So doing a Kong vault, if you don't have that flexibility there, it's going to be much harder. So that's going to help a lot with different vaults, with all your landings. So that one's going to be very key. So just doing squats, standing squats, body weight like so, just doing that 3 sets of 10, you're going to be in a really good position for building that mobility there. So again, use those 3 exercises. Aim for, if you can do 3 sets of 10, that's awesome. But even if you just do 1 set of 10, 2 sets of 10, just hitting that and doing that 2 times a day. So when you wake up, do that in the morning, and before you go to sleep, do that. And it's going to help a lot with getting that range of motion, extra mobility. It's going to be very crucial. Now, if you want to take your training to the next level, meaning you want to learn moves like the parkour roll, you want to learn your basic landing, you want to learn how to run up walls, you want to learn your first vault, then go to the link down in the description, because you can pick up a 5-day starter course. We'll send that to your email and you get that absolutely free. So just go to the link in the description and pick that up right now. Now, in the last video, we asked a question in the comments, and what we asked is what you were going to be for Halloween, and we got some pretty good responses. So in this shout out, I'm not going to be giving out prizes, but we wanted to give out some awesome shout outs because there were some pretty good ones. And we're also going to do this again, so if you go down in the comment section, you'll see below where you can reply to the comment down that we have there. Now I'm going to pull this up on my phone. All right, so the first comment I want to give a shout out to is SimiSammy07, and you said you wanted to be Ezio from Assassin's Creed. Next we have Justin Hall. Big shout out. You said you wanted to be a carton of milk for Halloween. And then the final shout out I have is for Debbie Dew. And you said for Halloween, I'm going to dress up as the Flash because I'll be that fast after applying the techniques and workouts from this video. Because for those of you who didn't watch the last video we gave you a sprinting exercise, so how to improve your sprints. So if you haven't checked that out, be sure to go back and check out our last video. Now we're going to put another comment down below, so be sure to comment a reply and we'll give a shout out in the next video. All right, so if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe if you want more videos like this. Make sure to like this video if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you in the next video.